It's not, I'm just writing a letter. It sends your brain signals go through your hand, through your eyes, your hand, and then you write on paper. It's really your brain print. So when I tell people I look at handwriting, I don't really look at handwriting. What I'm really doing is looking at what's going on in your brain. It's just coming out through your hand.
All right, we are back with Michelle Dresbold. It has been a couple years, Michelle. How are you doing?
I'm great. I've missed you.
I've missed you too, and I'm really excited to have you back. Everyone, Michelle wrote the book Sex, Lies, and Handwriting, and can be called, or is called by many, the handwriting person on the planet. I mean,
in
what
the
you come
in
up
the
with.
universe.
Okay, well, why stop there? If you want to know what's going on in somebody's head, when they're writing, it's kind of some spooky stuff. And on that note, I covered this particular note or letter that was written between Roberta Laundrie and Brian Laundrie. There's a question of when it was written, but I covered this with Gavin Stone. We did some statement analysis on it, and Gavin told me, hey, there's something going on here with the handwriting. I'm not a handwriting expert, but from what I've read in Michelle's book and what I understand, there's some things going on here. And I thought, well, oh my God, well, can I get Michelle on? And let's just look at it. Michelle, can you give me an overall impression of just the letter itself?
Okay, well, when you first gave me this letter, I hadn't seen it yet, and I really didn't know what you were sending me. And at first I thought, oh, you're sending me a letter. When you look at the writing, you can't always tell the age of a writer, but you can tell if a 10-year-old writes like a 30-year-old, it's very different than if a 30-year-old writes like a 10-year-old. The very first thing I noticed, I thought, this is written by someone, a female, between the age of 15 and 23. Now, that is not her actual age. That's the mentality. You don't read an age. You read what's going on in that person's brain. So the person who wrote this, my first impression was, oh, female with the mentality of a 15 to 23-year-old. So that's the first impression I had.
Wow. You
And
know what? Gavin said lovesick teenager. So
yeah,
really kind of interesting.
yes. And then if you look at this closely, you'll notice, and you don't even have to look at it closely. Some of the letters go to slant in one direction, some slant upward, and some slant backward. In fact, you'll get sentences, and I know we're going to blow up a few, but the whole writing goes from right to left to straight. And I always say, don't make connections with people whose handwriting slants in all directions. What that
Hmm.
means is your mood, this person's mood swings. If someone's handwriting is always shifting directions, their moods, I'm happy, no, I'm sad, no, I'm this. They have emotional problems because they can't stay steady. And so that's your overall view of the writing.
If you're in jail, I will bake a cake, which is obviously what a mother would write to their son.
Oh yeah, my mother writes it to me all the time, and I'm not a son. But um, okay, again, this sentence tells almost 90% of what's going on in this person.
Mm.
I want you to see I will bake. Remember I told you about handwriting that goes backwards, forwards. Look at I. It's straight up and down.
Mm.
Will leans backwards. Bake leans a little to the right. There is, if just in the one sentence, Geo obviously leans backwards. You have somebody, this shows that straight, back, forward, back. It's a guaranteed sign the person has emotional issues and major mood swings. But there's something else in this particular line that is extremely telling. I want you to look at, and I'll explain it before I tell you what to look at. Um, People will often put symbolism in their handwriting. That symbolism means something to them. Again, what is handwriting? It's not, I'm just writing a letter. It sends your brain signals go through your hand, through your eyes, your hand, and then you write on paper. It's really your brain print. So when I tell people I look at handwriting, I don't really look at handwriting. What I'm really doing is looking at what's going on in your brain. It's just coming out through your hand. You could scratch, a doodle. It's still what's in your brain. And
So the words don't matter?
I don't. Sometimes I turn a paper upside down. I don't even read what a person wrote.
Oh, okay.
It's the symbolism. It's the way they wrote. They could write in Chinese, Arabic, Hebrew, English. Doesn't make any difference,
Hmm.
really. Um, Now, again, when you have somebody and they put some symbolism in their handwriting, it means something about them. For example, I recently did an event and there was a guy and he showed me his handwriting in front of the group. I said, "Oh, you're a musician and you love music." And they all looked at me like, "How do you know that? You're psychic." And I was like, "Well, in his signature, he actually made his first letter look like a musical clef." And I knew right away,
Hmm.
you will put something in. Now, killers or certain people will put other symbols in. They'll put symbols like I have handwriting of was a book called Handwriting of Serial Killers. I went through the whole book, and without looking who wrote what, I could tell what weapon every single person wrote because
Ooh.
it's in their head and they will put it in their handwriting. And I was right. I mean, I'm not bragging, but a little bit, 100% of the time. Um,
Wow.
and if you look at this, I want you to look at that word your. And I'd like, if we could blow that up, I'd appreciate that.
Sure.
Now, on the word your, do you see something very strange on the Y?
Yeah, it looks like a hook or a scythe or
Shovel.
something. Oh, a shovel. Okay. Wow.
um, yes, it looks like a weapon. First thing you see is like a weapon. That is not by, oh, she didn't get her arm pushed, or that's a symbol. And it ends with a point. And it looks like, could be, you have to guess when you see some things. It's not like, oh, yes, this is a siphon, but you see it's a weapon. It looks like a weapon. Frankly, it looks like a shovel or a pick. So that is in her mind while she's writing this letter. And it's not a fluke, and it's very important. So,
Yeah. The words themselves in the
the,
letter uh, kind of back that up a little bit when she said she will bring a shovel.
mhm.
Well, bring crossed out to show up, which is a significant thing too, because
Okay,
bring implies knowing where the location is,
right,
and show up means I'm just ready to come.
right. It's not, again, we don't do things by accident. I mean, once in a while, something happens by accident, but she knew not to put the word bring. She crossed it out. She could have really crossed it out, but she didn't.
Mhm.
So deep down, she still wants you to see that word.
Hmm.
Because if not, you would have, oh my gosh, I don't need anybody to know anything. I will scratch it out and black it out. She didn't do that. So it's interesting that the shovel doesn't have that shovel stroke. It's on the word
Hmm.
you.
Would
So
that mean you're going to be using the shovel?
no, it certainly could be. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not. When you ask me, do I read it? I don't really read everything except that's not my first thing. First thing I look at the overall writing, and then
Mhm.
I'll look at little things. Why is that shovel, that pick, whatever that is, and
Mhm.
it's something, and it's not a coincidence? Why is it on the word you or you are? There's a reason for that in her mind. So I find that very significant. So let's look at some more of this writing.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Woo.
What next? What are we looking at next? Do you think you
But
wanted me to look at not time, not miles and miles and miles?
yeah, why don't we look that up? Okay, just look at this sentence, and if you could, I'd appreciate if you would blow up the word and. Let me ask you a question. Um, Does that D look a little odd to you?
Yes, and I remember something about it, like, and I don't want to go too far off the reservation, but like it looks like it's stabbed, or there's something
Mm,
odd about it.
well, there's something else about it.
Oh,
I
phallic.
yeah, you got it, you got
That's
it.
right.
I have a chapter in my book, Sex, Lies, and Handwriting, and it's called, Is That a Phallic Symbol in Your Handwriting, or Are You Just Happy to See Me?
Oh God.
And I know. And it's a whole chapter, and it's on people who put phallic symbols in their handwriting. Again, not all her D's are like this, but
Mm,
there's enough that are. As I said, you put something that is in your head, that is part of you, something you're going through. I'll give you a few examples of phallic symbols, or different kinds. I mean, Donald Trump has a big phallic symbol in his handwriting. It usually means that you are engaging in some form of sexual activity that is not the norm.
mm.
Um, I'll give you a minor example of something. This is a long time ago. I had a friend, and she would always say to me, Michelle, look at my handwriting. And I would always look at it, and I'm like, it's not going to change today from yesterday unless, something big happened. And then one week she goes, look at my handwriting. I'm like, all right, I'll look at it. And I'm just going to make up a name, Gladys. I said, Gladys, why all of a sudden do you have phallic symbols in your handwriting? I have never seen them in your handwriting before. And I had looked at her handwriting hundreds of times. And she started laughing. And I guess she had been married, give or take 10 or 20 years. I don't know. And she said, well, I never had sex with my husband after the honeymoon. And my high school college boyfriend came into town, and we've been having an affair all weekend, and I got it out of my system. But all of a sudden, phallic symbols were in her handwriting. So it can show up for, it's what's in your head. Um, it shows up often in people who have very, I want to say different, I could use a different word than that, sexual habits.
The term Oedipal came up about this letter. You're not the first one who said it, but
Okay.
it did come up. Don't know for sure, and I would never, outright accuse it. But yes, the
No.
word Oedipal, those who want to look it up, did come up.
You would not see that in the handwriting if that wasn't in the person's mind. It
Hmm.
wouldn't appear. And it doesn't appear once in our handwriting, it appears a number of times. I'll show you some more. But this one it's pretty blatant. It's not like, maybe. It is blatant in this handwriting. Let's look at some more if you
All
want.
right. I believe you wanted me to have this one pulled up. Love you, um, not their words.
Huh, okay. Why don't we look up the word words just for fun? Let's look at that word.
Hmm. What are we
Uh-oh.
looking for?
What's in that D? There it is again. I mean, I just want to show that it shows up more than once. And we're going to see it again and again. And let's see what else we have in this handwriting.
Uh,
Okay.
Therefore, I'm certain that neither death nor life. By the way, one quick question for you, because
Yeah,
I believe
sure.
you've talked about ignoring margins and things like that are relevant. And the
Right.
word neither debt, it looks like death is cut off. There's no H there. So I don't know if she ran out of paper, but I can't find any other copy that shows the full word death on the top right. And what does that mean when you're running out of paper or not bothering?
Okay. Well, one, we're not 100% sure that whoever took this photograph didn't cut it off in the photograph.
Hmm.
So when you look at evidence or any kind of thing, you do want to make sure that it's not because of
Problem.
some issue.
Mm,
But if it is cut off, and if you have no margins, it also means you don't have boundaries. What
mm,
are margins? Margins, there are boundaries. So when you write, and if you see somebody and they don't leave any margin space, they'll take up anybody's boundaries. Um, if it's just now, if somebody writes and they write to the edge of the page and they don't stop. What does that mean? It means they don't know when to stop. They can't see the future. You'll see people in their last words will just bump into that that edge of the paper. And their brain, you could have stopped and said, oh, wait, I better put that word on the next line. I mean, you're not saying that out loud. It's
Mhm.
what you're saying in your head. But if you write and your last letters just keep banging against the edge of the page, it means you didn't plan, you didn't think, and you're going forward when you should have stopped. And that's what that means.
Okay. So until we can confirm it, if this is in fact written over the edge, then there is something there. If it was cropped, then it means nothing.
Right. If it's cropped, we don't know anything. But if it's what it is, then it means and so we're not sure. We're gonna, like, if we could see the original or a perfect copy, we
Hmm.
would. If that person, and she probably doesn't have margins or too many margins anyhow, because I don't know much about her or anything, except I don't expect she has great boundaries from what I'm seeing in this handwriting.
Fair enough. I have a feeling it's not cropped, but
Yeah.
I always
Okay.
want to acknowledge that
Okay.
that's possible.
If it's not cropped, let's just assume for this conversation it's not cropped. Or anybody out there sees handwriting and it just bangs on that end, it means that person does not know when to stop and they just bang forward. And that's what that means.
Okay. And
Well,
it's
so
very
it
interesting.
would fit.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we have on this?
Well, we have the different parts. Somebody pointed out that that's a misquote of the extended version, but I don't know if that's you're into handwriting. I don't know the psychological analysis of why you're going to not only quote the Bible, but then say extended version and then not be accurate, apparently.
I also do statement analysis too.
Oh,
So,
good.
um, I didn't really look at that for this particular. I looked at a few other things in this letter, but not that. Again, if somebody says they'll do something and they take it out of, or they change it, it means they're pretending to show you what they want you to see.
Mm. So a manipulation?
Sure. Or I want you to see this about me, and I'm kind of changing it a little bit. So like I said, I didn't really look at that part that much.
Okay.
But that's what that would mean if somebody, kind of changes the wording or says, "Oh, I have more wording," or they're changing it to fit their narrative.
Now, question on this: the Romans 8:38 extended version seems like it has a general and actually sloping slightly up, and I think you have read
Mhm.
that there's a slight optimism when sloping up, but I don't know. Is it meaningless here, or is that part of something?
No, no. It's not meaningless. In this part, probably where she's not actually putting in her own feelings and she's thinking of spiritual things, she is going up, which means you're thinking positively, also means you're thinking spiritually. Uphill, it can mean both. But usually, uphill handwriting is a very positive trait.
Right, and she doesn't do it other than little parts of it, like
Hmm.
can separate our love looks like an upward slant, which is an interesting choice.
Hmm. Well, it it's actually, when you look at this, it's not really uphill. It goes up and then it sort of goes down near the end. It's a curve.
Okay.
And what that means is I'm excited, and then I'm going to drop.
Mhm.
I want to do this, I want to do this, and then I'm not going to finish. So you have to look up when you just look at something and it seems uphill. You have to be careful that it stays uphill and it
Okay.
doesn't drop near the end.
Okay, well, good, and that's why I have you on here because
I know, yes, but in general, if it's straight uphill, which this is not, that means positive, but you also, that's called a false positive when it
mhm,
goes up and goes down.
Okay. But the Romans part definitely it does have this slight upward
It has a
slant.
slight, but it still goes down at the end. So it's
Hmm.
still, she's thinking upwardly, but there's something pulling her down.
Hmm. Okay. Anything else in this particular page that you wanted to see?
No, not really. Let's go on to the last page if we could.
Right. I think that is the
Oh,
last page, but there is another sentence. Well, no, love you not word. Okay, that
let's
was page 2.
okay. Let's do the envelope.
All right, this is the envelope that got everyone's attention.
Okay. Well, has my attention for two reasons. Again, um, could we blow up laundry, the word laundry, or can we get close to that? Yeah.
I have a feeling I know what you're
Oh,
saying.
you got it. You got it. Okay. Now this one, there's no denying what that D is.
Wow.
I mean, it's as phallic as you can get, even if you were trying to, you were a little bit of a pervert and you're trying to make a phallic symbol. It's there.
Mm.
And it's on his name. It's, I mean, this summarizes 80%, not, it summarizes the letter and what's in her head. Okay. So let's go on to burn this thing, whatever. A reading. Did you just go do the word reading? We make it just a tinge smaller.
All right, hang on.
If not, it doesn't matter.
Okay, great.
Okay. Remember what I said about false endings?
Hmm.
We have the word reading, and it goes sort of up, and then it crashes down. You see this in the handwriting. I mean, I see it often in the handwriting people. What it means is the person emotionally, I'm up, I can handle things, and then crash, they fall apart.
Mm.
It's actually more dangerous in a way than people's handwriting who is all downhill, which can mean means depression.
Mm.
If it looks uphill, you don't, and then it crashes.
So it's volatile.
It's volatile, and you can't know when this person is going to crash.
Mm.
So here we have someone whose handwriting goes all different directions. We know they have huge emotional swings. We know that they have crashes. They pretend they're not depressed, but boom, they suffer from a severe depression.
Wow.
We have phallic symbols. There's no denying it. I mean, one time, okay, Michelle, maybe you made a mistake, which I didn't. But over and over again, and on that last name, on his name, that phallic symbol, it's not a fluke. And so these are some of the, and that Y in your. There's like it's all I could go step by step every word in this thing, but
Sure.
let's just go with the things that are the most important. The most in this case, or any case, I wouldn't even have to know what this case was about. Like when we have someone immature, the mentality of a late teen, early 20s, who has sexual weirdness in their handwriting, has a sickle or a shovel in their handwriting, and has crashes and doesn't have boundaries. And that's what you're
Wow.
dealing with.
Well, that perfectly sums it up. And
Okay.
folks, tell us what you think down in the comments. You're looking at this too. I'd recommend getting Michelle's book and then you can consult it yourself. And on that note, Michelle, there is also a note that Brian Laundrie had written that was found in his backpack that he had written. I wonder if, an audience, let me know, would you like to come back and maybe cover his last note? I have to be very careful with my wording because this is YouTube, but his last note to the world that was found in his backpack. Could I talk you into coming back?
You could, if you twist my arm. Yes, I
Awesome.
would be. There's one other question, which I know you asked somebody,
Oh,
you asked
yes.
Gavin Stone yesterday. Do you want to ask me that question?
Sure. I think the question is, when was this actually written?
Okay, I guess there's a controversy, and I didn't know this, between, was it written before he went on this big vacation or after or when? Um, I just give you my 2 cents.
Hmm.
It was not written before he went on the vacation.
Really?
No, because again, just like handwriting, let's go with the words and the symbolism in that handwriting. If someone's going on a vacation and you really love them, and even if you have different wording than I have, your brain picks up what's in your brain. Your words are what's in your brain at that time.
Hmm.
So if someone's going away, you might say, oh, if you get lost, I'll come and find you. If your tire blows out, I will come and fix it. That's what you're thinking. You're not thinking when someone's going on a vacation or a YouTube vacation or whatever this was, oh, if you need a shovel, I'll bring it. Oh, if you wind up in jail, I'll get you out. Those words and sentences are very important. You don't put a shovel or a sickle or whatever in your handwriting when you're thinking, oh, I'm not going to see this person for a while because they're on an adventure cross country. You're not thinking they're going to end up in jail. You're not thinking they need a shovel. Those are the words, just like the handwriting. It's in that person's mind. That didn't just show up before, because that wouldn't be in that person's mind.
All right. So now we have controversy, folks.
Yes.
Gavin and I came to the conclusion that this was written before they left.
Mm.
Michelle is saying something different. So
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
us know down below, what do you think? And I
Yeah.
definitely want to hear. I'm not the expert. I defer to Michelle and Gavin, and we'll have them have a cage fight
Oh, we'll
and
have a
fight it out.
fight. Yes, yes, yes. We'll have a fight. Yes. But again, like I said, you don't talk about things that you're not familiar with or aren't in your head. It doesn't, there's many other things that are in your head when someone's going away. These are the things that are in your head when you're afraid someone's going to go to jail
Oof.
and they may need a shovel.
Well, on that note, and nobody, you don't need a shovel for me or a file and a cake. I'm just sitting here in my little office studio and perfectly safe. Michelle, thank you so much.
Oh, it was
And
so much fun. Thank you. Please have me on again. I would love it.
some